Coming up next, top division doubles, Douglas and Manny against Zulaika and Ubilla here. Douglas and Manny, top team for the Warriors this season, just 1-6. Zulaika and Ubilla 3-5 this year, still under 500, but a little bit more success compared to their opponents. Ubilla dealing with that bicep injury. Wasn't throwing a ton of right side, but his catching was phenomenal last time out. And
Absolutely.
Zulaika was maybe the player of the day. I mean, he's starting to figure it out, and no better time to get into form than right now as the playoffs are approaching next month. Chargers have the serve here, ready to begin match 2. There's a serve by Zulaika. We begin our second match with a forehand over the top by Manny. Nice catch on the inside by Ubilla. Sends it back. Here's Manny, low runner inside, cut off by Zulaika. Forehand rebote coming up the middle. Ubilla keeps it on the left side, sends it high and deep. Manny pulls it in. Ubilla, tough play along the wall, backhand. Coming to Manny's right side, he gets in there. Forehand crossing the wall, nice pickup by Ubilla, backhand, coming back to Manny. He takes it right off the wall. Everybody clears a lane, low runner inside, scoop by Manny. Zulaika now goes high and deep. Manny gonna step out of the way. Douglas plays the rebote from the 7 line inside. Great catch again by Ubilla. Tough save by Douglas. Saves the rebote. Right to Zulaika, though. Backhand. Opens up to the middle of the court. Here's Manny. Sidearm play. Dropping between them. Zulaika comes all the way back and digs out the rebote. Douglas, drop shot from the costado to score. Warriors on the board first here in our second match.
Great choice of shot there by Douglas, dropping it inside. Well done.
And I mean, look how deep Zulaika is, too. That's just a smart throw by Douglas and not a lot of pressure, too. Zulaika has to respect the 2-wall. That's why you see him going to the outside at first, but Ubilla handles the serve, sends it inside, crosses the wall. Douglas saves the rebote. Tough pickup by Ubilla, backing up, plays it inside. Douglas is there. Oh, bullet, cut off by Ubilla in the corner. Douglas rips that one off the sidewall, sends it deep again, clears the screen. Now Zulaika sends the rebote wall to wall. What a throw. Douglas stops, comes back for it, sends it back to Ubilla. Manny stands in at the 13 line, makes the play, backhand right to Ubilla. Goes up a little bit further, plays it right on the wall. Douglas has to save the rebote. Zulaika moving up on it, attacking. Fires it inside. Manny lets it pass, but he does save the rebote. But it's in the pad, and that pad is bad. First point for Zulaika and Ubilla.
Manny is so supremely confident on those rebote saves. Sometimes he lets balls go that are coming at him that are difficult, but are well within his ability to make the catch, and sets up what's a very difficult save, and that was the case there. Just to not have the distance to make it to the front wall.
Serve comes to Manny's forehand. High off the front wall. Ubilla makes the catch on the right side. Winds it up. Crosses the wall. Douglas makes the play. Backhand inside. Right to Manny. Manny sends it back to Ubilla. He makes the catch. Oh, bullet. Douglas reaching in. Cuts it off. Sends it high and deep. Not past Ubilla, though. Great catch. Leaping at the back wall. Forehand rebote. Here's Zulaika, he send it deep, and he backs up, makes the catch. Up at the 10 line to the inside, Manny steps up, makes the play, fires it along the wall. Ubilla waits for it to cross and makes the catch. Here's Manny now at the 12 line to the inside, leaping catch by Zulaika, backed up, right to Manny again. Tough play right on the wall, Ubilla. Nice play on the numbers. Manny, let it go. Douglas gets in there, makes the save. Inside placement from the Costano, big bounce. Manny controls it, comes out over the top. Zulaika backing up, he scoops it. Little clip this time, Manny caught it in the air, forehand. Crossing the wall, back in Ubilla up, and he scooped it up. Costano with a bounce to the inside, scooped up by Ubilla, sends it back to Manny. He makes the catch. Dropping low, great control that time by Ubilla. Doesn't want to overthrow it, gets it back to Manny. That one passing just as Zulaika sends it back inside. Not a lot on it. Douglas makes the save. Big bounce, controlled up high by Ubilla. Backhand, low runner on the wall.
What a
Cut
catch.
off by Douglas. Backhand.
That was gorgeous.
Zulaika waits for the rebote, sends it inside. Manny's there. That one drops between them. Zulaika has to save the rebote. Douglas let it pass. Manny from the backcourt comes over the top. Big bounce inside. Scoop by Ubilla. Backhand. Ubilla, good control up at the 8-line. Backhand, wall to wall. That's coming out. Forehand rebote sent inside. Crossing. Now just scrambling. Ubilla. Actually, Zulaika rather saves it. Now Manny from the back. Over the top, right on the
Beautiful
wall.
catch.
Ubilla timed it perfectly. Here's Manny back on the inside. Plays it up the middle for Ubilla. Ubilla goes high, Andy. High off the back wall. Douglas plays rebote back up the middle. Ubilla runs around it. A bullet inside, dropping at Manny's feet. Douglas saves the rebote. Zulaika looking for it, not going to get
Tipped.
there, and it's tipped. Tremendous point by all four players. The Warriors take the lead 2-1.
You're absolutely right. All four players playing that point spotlessly. Court positioning excellent. Ubilla with some very difficult catches from the backcourt. Manny with a good save. Douglas there for the rebote. All well done.
Ball runner inside, crossing the wall. Manny ducks. Douglas saves the rebote. Manny waits for it in the corner, makes the catch, sends it back to Ubilla. He's there at the 10-line. 2-wall, not enough. Zulaika gathers, pumps it inside. It's on the wall. Scoop by Manny. What a catch. And now Ubilla goes up the wall, but he did not have control as he went to make the throw. 3-1, Warriors lead.
Yeah, when that ball comes into the cesta, it's one thing to make the catch. It's another thing to have sufficient control to be able to have it right where you need it in the basket to throw with accuracy. That ball was moving when Ubilla threw it.
Powerful serve. Ubilla gets there before it crosses. Little bullet inside again. Douglas tip ball up overhead. Chargers get one back. It's 2-3.
Douglas has been largely flawless there at that side wall. That ball coming off the wall.
Manny from the left side opens up with a backhand. Ubilla. That's his backup, makes a play in the air. Manny now deeper into the corner, sends it along the wall. Ubilla takes it in, backhand. Oh, bullet cut off by Douglas. Douglas, ooh, drop shot, dropped it too low. Yeah, the pad of that pad is bad. It's 3-3, we're tied up.
Yeah, just held on to it too long. Felt that he was releasing it appropriately, but just, I mean, that hit the bottom of the pad.
Yeah. Under serve, first fault, second serve coming up. Second serve, oh, is an over serve. A double fault, that's 4 points now for Douglas and Manny. Wow.
We don't see many double faults. We do see maybe one a game day
Maybe less, yeah.
from
What a
different
week,
players,
yeah.
but don't really see that from Zulaika. But he knows that Douglas is looking to take the serve, so.
Powerful crossing the wall, Ubilla. Oh, bullet, that's just above the pad. Manny with a great scoop. Zulaika back inside, high and hard. Manny waits for this one again, takes it in. Back to Ubilla, makes the catch. It's a little bullet, right to Manny. Ubilla runs around it, keeps it on the left side. Low runner. Manny steps out of the way. Douglas saves the rebote. Zulaika comes flying in, sends it back to Manny. Makes the catch. Ubilla now on the inside from the 10 line. What a throw. Better catch there by Manny.
Oh, my.
Ubilla again comes flying into the wall, makes the catch. Douglas able to cut it off, sends it back to him. Powerful throw of his own. Ubilla cuts it off. Backhand 2-wall. Oh, Douglas has it in the air. Cortada dropping low, stays low, but Ubilla picked it off before the second bounce. Ubilla now at the 11 line. Hard to the inside. Douglas takes it in, backhand. Right to Ubilla now. Ubilla from the 12 line to the inside. Manny's there. Backhand to the inside, Ubilla steps up, makes the catch, floats one up to Manny. He's there again. This one past both Chargers. Zulaika with the rebote, sends it inside. Tough one dropping.
Good save.
Makes the save. Scoop by Manny. Back beyond the 13 now. Keeps it inside for Ubilla. Zulaika takes it in overhead. Tostado to the inside. Big bounce. Douglas knows he's got to get in there. He makes the save. Zulaika drop shot. Douglas takes off. Not going to get there. 4-4 is the score. Zulaika and Ubilla serve.
Very well thrown by Zulaika back to the inside. Not particularly soft, just out of reach.
Comes over the top. Oh, Zulaika has it. 2-wall. Wow, what a throw.
That was gorgeous.
5 points and a possible set point for the Chargers. Boy, he committed to that one. Took it in the air, and what a 2-wall that was.
Now we know Zulaika's got the Costado 2-wall. Hasn't broken it out yet. He catches this beautiful. Felt it.
Look at how that
Side
opens
wall,
up.
front wall. Just gorgeous.
It's a good illustration of how the player is certainly not faster than the ball. I mean, you see that thing open up.
100%.
Douglas is quick, and he's not even close to it. And the serve scores for the set. Zulaika and Ubilla close it out. 6-4. 2 minutes will come back and play set 2.
That was quite a hard-fought first set.
Yeah, I mean, and the Chargers won, what, 5 of the last 6 points there? Warriors held a 3-1 lead in the drop shot in the pad. I mean, and even a missed serve, too, by Zulaika. That was the only point that they got.
It's really the only mistake that you can point to.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just playing highlight, making shots, making the catches. Looking great. You're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City League Fronton in Miami, Florida. We're currently in our second of 6 scheduled matches on the game day. Here's some replays from that first set. The drop shot by Douglas of the Warriors early on scoring.
Yeah, it's such a good throw. And, you know, doing it in the first set, too, with a cold ball. Probably most effective. Inside here, there's the drop shot.
Again, it's bouncing pretty high, but it's out of reach.
Yeah, close enough to the side wall.
This was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Costado 2-wall just
I mean,
perfectly executed by Zulaika.
well, and then look at this serve. I mean, look at where it's coming in. I mean, so fast. What do we say? I mean, right on the wall.
Crossing the side wall, right where Manny's set up to make the catch.
You know, I know we don't have the numbers, but I'm going to guess that 90+% of the serves that end up as aces, that we call them, cross the wall. I mean, it could be 90. It could be even higher than that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's near 100%. I would guess.
It's definitely high, and it's crossing the wall right where your opponent's standing, as opposed to, you know, folks who may be familiar with highlight know of an ace that basically is just it's served with a lot of bounce, a lot of pica. It hits deep in the service box and bounces into the corner above the player's head. Here, you know, you play to the court's advantages, and we have some very specific, distinct advantages with this court here. And these players know how to take advantage of them. And crossing that, it's not a. We do have some players who do go to the cortada serve. It's not a cortada serve. It's just crossing the wall where your opponent's trying to make that catch with a lot of power. No, very effective.
Second set ready to begin here. The Warriors, Douglas and Manny, will have the serve to begin set 2. There's the serve by Douglas. Set 2 is underway. Oh, what a bullet to the inside there that comes shooting off the wall. Douglas saves it, clears the screen. Ubilla from the outside. Oh, sends it back up the middle. Douglas right to him. On Cortada. Ooh, Zulaika's right there. Scoops it up. Catch by Manny. Manny caught the corner of the front wall. Ubilla makes the catch. Oh, runner. Crossing. Comes shooting back out. Douglas returns a 2-wall. Oh, Zulaika stops it. Cortada perfectly thrown to score. Took a little off of it, too, there.
Yeah, it's not that, Cortadas are typically thrown hard, but they don't have to be thrown so hard. It's really more about getting it from the front wall to cross the side wall low and not come off and give your opponent anything to play with. That's exactly what Zulaika did there.
Manny stands in, takes the serve, backhand. Thrown to pass. Zulaika now out there for the rebote. Drops it between the Warriors. Douglas able to make the save. Zulaika into the costado. Hard inside, right to Manny.
What a catch.
What a kick right on the side wall. Ubilla, he blasts it, comes shooting back to Douglas. Returns the rebote. Catch by Ubilla at the 10 line to the inside again. Manny reaching low, controls it on the right side. Coming across Ubilla's face, gets it off. Zulaika saves the rebote. Douglas taking one out, back to the inside. Here's Ubilla, up at the 10. Sends it high and deep. Douglas backpedaling quickly, fires it up at the 4. Low and hard, scoop, tipped. Nice play by the Warriors. We're tied up.
It's very well thrown by Douglas. That rebote was coming in low. He crouched down and threw it right to the corner. Would have been a spectacular catch by Ubilla, but was just tipped.
Ubilla with the catch, sends it inside. Manny let it pass. Douglas saves it again. This one drops between them. Zulaika digs it out. Douglas aggressively controls it up at the 4 to the outside. Won't land in. It does.
Very well done.
And it scores on top of it. 2-1 lead for the Warriors.
When Douglas is in that position, he's got to score. He's got to score. You don't want to get back into volleying with Zulaika and Ubilla. That's what we saw in the first set.
Backhand inside, that's right along the wall. Douglas makes the save. Ubilla picks it up high on the left side. Backhand comes in low and hard. Manny's there, picks it off the wall. Ubilla, low runner. Manny back to Douglas. Saves it above the pad. Zulaika into the costado, hard inside. Manny, this is a tough one. Goes to the floor. He makes a diving save. Inside again. Manny scoops that one up. Coming at him. Oh, what a backhand. It clears the overhead screen. Zulaika the 4 turns it inside. Manny with another catch on the forehand. Back to Zulaika into the costado. Inside with a bounce. Manny controls it again in the middle of the court. Comes over the top. Crossing the wall. Ubilla climbs the wall and comes down with the ball. Offside rebote. Douglas. Is it back to Ubilla on the inside? What a bullet there. Dropping low, comes shooting off the back wall. Douglas saves it inside. Scoop by Ubilla. Even more power. Manny with a scoop. Tough one. Not a lot of space back there.
Everyone ducked.
Drop shot by Zulaika. Ooh, Douglas got a good read on it. He gets up there. Drop shot, return, will score. It's a 3-1 lead for the Warriors here in our second set.
Both thoughtful and effective play there by Douglas to put it right back to the inside. Anybody who's been watching Douglas lately has known that he's been firing it to the outside, especially in doubles. Well, actually both in doubles and singles. But in this case, Zulaika's to the outside. He just drops it inside. One bounce. Second bounce just past the 4 line. Well done.
Low runner inside, picked up by Manny. Manny sends it high off the front wall, kicking up and out. Rebote for Zulaika to the inside. No play for Douglas. Manny goes up again. Over the top on the inside. Ubilla. Nice catch. There's the backhand. Passing Manny. Douglas sets up for the rebote. Plays it inside. Zulaika now. Set up for one of his own. Ubilla drops it at Manny's feet. Douglas has to come back for it. Plays the rebote inside. Nice scoop up at the 10. Manny over the top. Zulaika looking for it. Gonna let it pass. And it's missed by Ubilla there in the backcourt.
Ubilla does not have many misses. He's been making these catches. Manny brought her over the top. One thing I would like to see from Douglas, get these rebotes a little closer to the side wall. When he's throwing them, he's got them about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet from the side wall as they're coming back.
Ubilla plays it inside. Manny steps out of the way. Douglas saves the rebote. Ubilla at the 10. Hard inside for Manny. Douglas tracks it down, sends it inside. Ubilla now takes off. Tough rebote save up over his head. Douglas hard inside, gonna be a tough scoop.
What a catch.
Ubilla made it. Oh,
Wow,
Douglas coming
dangerous.
back in, almost hit him. Ortada will score. 5 points and a possible set point for the Warriors.
And Ubilla apologizing, acknowledging Douglas here. That he was a little close in that backhand.
I'll tell you what, this has been a complete shift to strategy for the Warriors. The first set, he and Manny were seemingly just trying to outcatch their opponents. This second set here, Douglas has turned it up.
Yeah, and I have to say that Douglas did step in on that one. That wasn't so much Ubilla. Yeah,
he was running
he was
in
just
and
throwing.
Ubilla, yeah.
That's not the guy to do that with. It's really not.
No. Simply put. Good catch there along the wall. Backhand. Floated to Manny. That scores. Point and set. Douglas and Manny take it 6-1. 2 minutes. We'll come back and play a third and decisive set.
Yeah, no, you get hit with an Ubilla backhand straight out of the cesta. That's potentially, well, it's going to hurt. Split sets. Chargers take the first set 6-4. Warriors take the second set 6-1. You're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida. Here we are in the ESPN3 DraftKings Players Cage. Some replays from the second set. Douglas with much more aggressive play. Beautiful forehand right to the sweet spot there on the outside of the court. No rebote for his opponents. Well done. Manny also spot on with his catching. Nothing easy about this rebote. He goes to make the save. Zulaika, great catch in the air. Douglas read this beautifully. Makes the catch, returns a drop shot. It's been throwing it hard to the outside, not that time. Again, Douglas with an opportunity. He's got it. Fires it at the feet of Ubilla. What a scoop. And see, this is what we're talking about. Douglas was creeping back in while Ubilla was off his footing throwing a backhand. That's a dangerous combination, and everything turned out well, fortunately. Ball just tipped there. See the importance of keeping that ball close to the side wall when throwing your rebote or throwing your backhand. More difficult it is for your opponent to catch. About 20 seconds away from beginning our third and decisive set in this match. Zulaika's going to have the serve.
I love that set. I thought it was maybe the best we've seen
Tremendous.
Douglas and Manny play this year. And it just starts with the aggressive play by Douglas up in the front court. If you don't throw anything, I mean, the opponent knows where you're going to put the ball. You can play that rally game to the inside, and at this level, these players are consistent enough that they can play. Anybody can really play that game.
Absolutely.
I mean, the way to separate yourself is to throw those shots. There's not many, but you have to deliver when you get those limited opportunities. And in that second set, he did just that.
Drop him inside, throw him outside. Basically, hear me say it every day. Your opponent really has to be guessing what you're doing when he sees you with it on the costado.
Third set has begun. Oh my, what a catch there by Manny. Not a lot of space. He makes the play. Ubilla sends it back into the corner. Rebote coming out. Douglas at the 6 line to the inside. Cut off by Ubilla. Rebote left side who kind of hooked it up the middle. Ubilla gets in there. Little bullet to Manny. Oh, he's got it on the left side. Catch along the wall. Ubilla sends it low. Little bullet. Drops between them again. Douglas saves it. Ubilla back. Good control on the left side. Backhand. Just able to take it again. Zulaika, good reflex, sends it inside. Manny gonna get out there. Tough for Bote. Slaps it up. It's in play. Zulaika, quick turn. Warriors back on the defensive now. Douglas comes in, saves the rebote. Zulaika, ooh, not a lot on it. That took a second bounce. Died either way. That's a point for Douglas and Manny. Open up the scoring here in our third set.
That may be the first time in the 3 sets that we've seen the bicep affect a point. In that case, Ubilla totally tentative in terms about whether or not he was going to go for that on the right side, and he didn't. In fairness, he thought it was going to be more of a rebote, but turned out not to be much of a
rebote. Zulaika cut it off. What a throw! Better catch by Manny. Comes flying on the inside, and it scores. 2 quick points for the Warriors to begin set 3.
Manny blasted that back into the corner. And just right off the tip of Ubilla's cesta. I mean, this catch by Manny here is just gorgeous, and he gets some real power coming off of it. Ubilla on the jump just tips.
Ubilla on the outside. Oh, it's low and in the pad, and that pad is bad. 3 straight for the Warriors to open up this set.
Obviously, Ubilla was looking to go for the low runner inside. Douglas was backing to the outside, but it hit the pad. You got to hit the wall, always.
Tough serve. Ubilla gets in there, controls it, sends it back inside. Manny steps away. Douglas saves her bote. Zulaika comes flying in. Backhand just above the pad. Manny's got it. Zulaika now steps back, cuts it off, pumps the forehand inside. Manny reaching up overhead. He's got it again. Zulaika aggressively. Costado splitter. Split him up to score.
Beautifully done by Zulaika.
First point for the Chargers in our third set. Yeah.
You'll see this ball right at the tip of his cesta. Douglas, of course, going outside to try to stop the 2-ball that we saw earlier.
And Zulaika's kicked it into his highest gear now possible. As evidenced by that point, just everywhere. And beautiful combination to get on the board.
Very well done.
Hard serve missed by Manny. That is 2 points for the Chargers. The deficit only 1. Backhand to the inside. Nice catch by Ubilla. Sends it in from the 11. Manny reaching down low, good control, right over Zulaika's head. Picked up off the side wall. Nice play by Ubilla. Back to Manny now. Bote left side. Up the middle, tough save by Douglas. Coming back for it. Nice for Bote into the corner. Zulaika lays one up of his own. Douglas steps in, cuts it off. Backhand, low bullet on the wall. What a grab by Ubilla now. Douglas reaching in. Oh, right to Zulaika, forehand to the inside. Scoop by Manny.
Beautiful throw.
Forehander Bote, wall to wall. Nice play again. Douglas, right back to Ubilla. Backhand from the 11, all he can behind this throw. Douglas stands in, saves the rebote, plays it along the wall. Ubilla climbs the wall. Comes down with the ball. Back to Manny in the middle of the court. Douglas ducks. Backhand comes flying to Ubilla at the 10 line. Low bullet inside. Dropping low. Douglas, good body control. He makes the save. Pushes Ubilla back. Sends it hard inside again. Rebote coming out. Douglas, quick turn inside. Here's Ubilla. Douglas turns it high again. Ubilla, great control. Backhand. Catch by Manny. A little deeper now at the 13 line. Sends it wall to wall. Douglas takes it off the sidewall. Backhand right inside. Ubilla, great catch again. Backhand gonna clear the overhead screen, coming all the way out. Douglas turns it low and hard. Scoop by Ubilla. Douglas calls him off. That kicked up, saves the rebote above his head. Setting this up for Zulaika. Forehand inside, low and hard. It's dropping. Saved, but low. Chargers have come back to tie it up 3-3 here in our third and decisive set.
That ball was coming back fast, fast, fast. Difficult rebote coming right back off the front wall. Manny's got to be right there. That was just taking a look at the ball, which is taking quite a beating.
Yeah.
Ball, we're in the third set.
It looked pretty cut.
Yeah, again, that top layer is white. The underlayer is red to show you as the ball is wearing through.
Well, they've been playing hard, and they've been playing for a while, so.
Yeah.
It is 3-3 into the third set here. New ball coming into play. Manny, great control on that serve. Had a bunch of spin. Plays it inside. Ubilla now. High and hard. Past both Warriors. Douglas saves the rebote. Ubilla back inside. Right across Douglas's face, but he comes flying in to make the catch. Ubilla passing again. Douglas on the inside. Sends the rebote back up the middle. Ubilla keeps it on the left. Low runner. Manny's there, set up for the rebote, saves it at Zulaika's feet. He scoops it up, hard to the inside again. Manny tipped it off the side wall. He was there, just couldn't bring it in.
He's made so many difficult catches throughout this match.
Wow, the Chargers, what, 4 straight points now back in front in this match?
Change of the ball. Manny was just off there.
Oh, Manny backing up, could not catch that serve. 5 points, possible set, and a possible match point for Zulaika and Ubilla. Wow, 5 straight points here to get to this point of the match. Every set, Douglas and Manny had a 3-1 or 3-0 lead. Every one of them. They got their way to get back into this. Here's Manny, backhand. Played up the middle, Ubilla from the left side to the inside. The rebote escaped into the overhead screen. Point, set, and match. Zulaika and Ubilla take it in 3 sets, winning the final set 6-3. An impressive comeback into the third set for Zulaika and Ubilla. They now tie up the game day 1-1. See the Chargers there, fist bumps as they come off the court. We'll go to Division 6 doubles next. We'll see Albarba and Gallo against Correa and Bradley. Game day score reflecting that win just a few moments ago by Zulaika and Ubilla, tying things up 1-1. That score right there, along with our season standings at the bottom. 8 points for the Fireballs. Up at the top, they clinched the playoffs after their last game day win. The other 3 teams there, you see the Renegades, Devils, and Chargers pretty close, but Chargers can really help themselves out with a win. Zulaika and Ubilla doing just that to tie things up. We have them over in the DraftKings Players Cage. Let's hear from our winners, Zulaika and Ubilla, guys. What a performance there. Down either 3-0 or 3-1 in every set. What gives you the belief that you guys can come back even facing those deficits?
This guy. It's easy with this guy. I mean, he does things that are extremely hard. I don't see anybody throwing those attack shots so close from the wall. Extremely aggressive. He takes care of me. He takes care of anybody that he plays with, and it's just easy.
Awesome, guys. What a win to start off the game day for you. Tied up. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go Chargers.